Hello there, everyone, and a very happy Monday. I do hope that you're all having a great week so far and that you have had a great week end too. So I'm sorry, I will just be showing my hand today. I do have a cold sore that I don't wish to share. So if you're wondering why we've gone straight to hand today, that is the reason. Hello there, everyone that has popped in. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been a while since I've been here, so I am glad that I can see all of your beautiful faces at the side of my screen. The lovely Angel will be behind the badge today, and she'll be popping in all of the links. So thank you, Angel, for joining us and being there for us. So yes, Naomi, I'm good. It's just the cold sore, so that's why we're down here today. So hello there, everyone. We're going to go through the newest release. So we did have a release on Friday, and in that release, we did some beautiful 3D embossing folders, as well as some stencils. Also, I did forget to share, if you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. So if you did like buy some things, or you had some things that you've seen, please let us know. We always like to know what has been in your kind of shopping basket and what you can't wait to get your hands on. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone, and for being here as well. So after my little jabbering on, we will go ahead and take a look at the new products that were released on Friday. So this one here is the Sunshine Blossoms. Now, if you're thinking, oh, these look a little bit familiar, that will be because these work perfectly with the Courageous You stamp set. So I do have that off to the side here. So this is my Courageous You stamp set. It has been well loved. So you can see that the stamp and the embossing folder for this one are perfectly matched. Just a little bit of a flip over, as you can see. One goes one way and one goes the other. But if you do have the Courageous You, it will work perfectly with that one. There is also a new Courageous You simple coloring stencil, which is going to enable you to color the stamp set as well as this embossing folder. I don't have the new updated one, but I will be using my old one today. So I am going to be using that one to create a card or two with that one. So I'll just leave that one off to the side because that is what I'm going to be working with today. So in the rest of the release, we also have some more goodies, which I will go through now. So we do have the flower vines. Now, again, this is a 3D embossing folder, and you can see that we've got this really beautiful yet whimsy kind of background on here. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be a background. I've seen some gorgeous cards made with this one, and this could be a really great focal point as well. You could cut out all of these little pieces if you wanted to, and then maybe create a garland or a wreath with all of these little pieces. If you did want to color this in quickly and easily, we do have the Flower Vines Simple Coloring Stencil as well. So we have 3 stencils in here. So you can see if I pop this on, this one is going to color in the vines and also the little circles on there. We have one for the leaves. So that's going to color in all of the leaves. And then we also have one for all of the flowers. So if I open up the packaging, you can see that we do have the layering guide on here as well. Now, if you wanted to, and you don't have like a die cutting machine, but you do love this stencil, you can use this stencil without embossing the folder if you wanted to. So have a good play with that one. Hi, Sue. It's been a while. So I might have a go at that and show you how easy it is to kind of put that together without using the 3D embossing folder. You know, try something different as well. It's not planned, but I think I'm going to go there too. Next up, we have Jungle Leaves. Now, as you can see, we've got this really cool, this reminds me of like 70s plates and bowls that my nan used to have. It's just a really cool pattern. So we have lots of these overlapping leaves with also like another leaf detail in there. It's very, very pretty. If I turn that over, you can see just how that is going to emboss onto your cardstock there. So next up we do have, oh, thunderstorms. So yes, we've just had rain, no thunderstorms for us. Oh, Joan, yes, we do have a lot of stencils for these embossing folders. It's really cool, so it means you can color them really, really quickly. So this one is the Fantasy Emblem. This one is so very pretty. And even though it's in all like geometric, I think this looks pretty natural in the way that the kind of these form and flow around each other. I think it's very, very pretty. So if I turn this over, sorry, you can see that we have the beautiful kind of look that you're going to get when you run that through your embossing machine. So if you do like this one is the Fancy Album, would make a great background just as it is, or you can definitely color that. There's also been a really cool couple of techniques done with that one on the blog hop. So if you did want any more information or inspiration using these products, please check out either the website where you can go to the product page and have a look at lots of different projects, or you can go onto our card blog and check out the blog hop from Friday. Okay, next up we have the tiled chevron. Just as it says, we have a tiled effect chevron on this, and this is really beautiful. This is a great one. It will go for everything. So no matter what kind of style of card you're creating, if you did this in some white cardstock, it's not going to take anything away from the focal elements that you do pop onto it. Another 3D embossing folder, it's geometric again, is our playful circles. As the name suggests, we have some circles on here and they are very playful. So I don't know if you can see. So on this, we have the circles and then we have a ridge that goes up and a ridge that goes down. So it's kind of like been pinched. And that's the kind of look that you're going to get from this one. So when you look at it, you're going to get different kind of ridges on it. If you did this with some mirror cardstock, that would be very, very pretty as well. It could kind of look like a checker plate if you did it that way as well. Yeah, a lot of these do need I loved a lot of these so much, and I haven't played with them as much as I wanted to because I have been on vacation, so I am hoping to really have a little bit more of a play with these ones. So this one here is the last of the 3D embossing folders for this release, and this is the Geo Triangles. And you can see that we've got this really cool design, very retro, kind of modern at the same time. It also reminds me of a bit like Art Deco, the really cool kind of tiles that they had in their bathrooms. It could be something where this kind of look came from. So this is the Geo Triangles, and to go with that one, we do have the stencil set. We have 4 stencils in here, and as you can imagine, they're going to fit together with the pieces that you have on the stencil. Now, two of these stencils, they are a flip and a ink again. So even though there's like 4 stencils in here, that does get inked 6 times to kind of create this look. So you can see it better here. So this is the look. So you're going to ink them, ink and flip, ink and flip. This is an ink and flip. So 3 of them you're going to do twice, and only 1 of them you have it when you just ink it once. And you're going to be able to create this really cool effect here. All right. As well as that, we also have 2 other stencils for previously released embossing folders. Now, I haven't even opened these up because these came while I was away. So we have the very pretty Mariposa, which works with the Mariposa 3D embossing folder. And then we also have the Hosta, which works with the Hosta 3D embossing folder. Oh, so yes, the stenciling is fabulous. I think it's really, really good. So I am going to go with the idea that I had when I was just going through the things before. Like I said, I haven't played with this one yet. It did come while I was away. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a go before I start on the other card idea that I had for today. So I have the flower vines, and I'm just going to pop that into place. And I'm just going to be using this flower vine here. So if you look, you can see that we do have a number, and I'm just going to go for this one here. So I'm going to kind of concentrate everything there. I do want to move that over a little, I think, because I just want it along that side. So to keep that into place, I'm just going to flip that over, and I am going to be using my satin tape from Altenew, my favorite ever masking tape. I'm sorry about my really short nails today. I'm trying to get used to them. I broke 3 nails at the weekend, so the rest of them had to go. It was sad, but it, you know, it had to happen. So I have that. I'm also going to bring in my little blending brushes. As I didn't have this planned, I'm just going to use the inks that I have over to the side. So I'm going to go yellow for the inside of my circles, my flower centers. And this is the chamomile, and I also have snapdragon. So I want to add 2 tones to these. So that was the chamomile. If you wanted to, you can kind of mask these areas off here, but because I'll be going over with a green that's going to be a lot darker, I'm not going to worry too much for that one. So this one here is the snapdragon. Please let me know your favorites, what you have in your little cart, if you did purchase anything, if anything's turned up as well. That would be fabulous if it did. I don't know. I don't know how far ahead they are with their packing at the minute. So I have my 2 little flower centers in, and I'm also going to go with my stalk now that it's here, and I'm going to go in with some Shadow Creek. I'm thinking I do want to add some shadow too, and thankfully I have mountain pine on the side as well. I am in love with these little ones at the minute. They are pretty ergonomic. So if you do have trouble normally with blending, you know, because you normally have to hold a small blending area, these ones are really quite cool. And if you do get the Build a Garden set, you get one of these in the Build a Garden kit, which is really cool. So if you really just want to build up your collection bit by bit, but you also wanted other things as well, the Build a Garden subscription may be something that you want to look into. Okay, so that was the Shadow Creek there. Tiny dies. That's cool, Deborah. Exciting. I love it when you have things in your cart because you're like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then something pushes you over the edge. What is that normally that thing that pushes you over the edge? Is it an idea that you have, or is it a video that you've seen and then you really want to try out the technique? Let us know. I'm ever curious. So once I have added the mountain pine as well, because I just wanted to add little bits of shadow. I didn't go over all of it. I did want different kind of looks there. Oh, Nancy, yeah. Sorry. Oh, payday pushes you over the edge. That's funny. So that was the 3rd stencil. I maybe should have gone for the 1st stencil first, but I find that getting that kind of where I want it is going to be easiest for me. But you can always play. Avril, you're with the discount codes. They send you over the edge. Yep, cards. Cards, yeah. Inspiration normally is what probably normally gets me. So this one here is going to fit on all of these little vines. I'm just kind of playing around with it. I don't think it's really going to matter that much if I don't get that perfect. So I'm just going to pop that down when I think, oh, everything's kind of touching. You don't have to be too precise if you don't want to be. I mean, I'm only doing this one here. I want to go a shade lighter with my leaves. I will still be using the other color. Haha, Grass Fields is here. So I am going to use this. Christine, yeah, mine's always like, I always add more just every time I go, and then it's like, okay, bite the bullet today. Just go for it. All right. Oh, Avril. Okay. So I'm adding the grass field on to those leaves all the way over. Okay, I'm then going to take the Shadow Creek and I'm just going to add this to the bases. Oh, Nancy, oh. Yeah, I always forget something as well. And it's always something that I went there for. It's normally the case. It's like, yeah, I need glue, but then I get distracted with other shiny things. So I'm just adding that to the base. I am coming a bit further up, and that's going to give us that really great gradient look. You can get this look with just one ink color, but I find it's so much easier if you do use two. You can see how easy that is. You always put the lighter one down first, then go in the base with your darkest one. So there we go. We have the first and the third and the second stencils used. Okay. Now this one I'm lining up with the tops of the stems for the flowers. And now I need to kind of be a little bit more careful about which ones I am going to kind of color in. For my daisies, I'm thinking I'm just going to go around the outside a little bit with a really light color because I don't want to go over my yellow. I really like the look of that. And I want them to kind of look like blue daisies. I was going to say white daisies. Now, I don't know, but daisies, sometimes they do have like a pink tinge around the outside edge. And that's how I'm going to kind of get the look of my daisy, hopefully. If you can kind of mark all these out with some tape, and that is going to stuck there. Right, so I'm just going to kind of mask that off because I always go over. I can't help myself. So this is the pink diamond, sorry everyone, and I'm just kind of trying to add it just to the base. I mean the tips of those petals. I do love a good daisy that's got those really beautiful pink edges. And this one here. Okay. And I have 4 of the flowers. I mean, I could color this one in, but I didn't put the circle point in there. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave it. All right. And I'm going to go Volcano Lake. I think I had, yeah. It would have been silly if Lagoon wasn't on my desk. All right. So I'm going to go Volcano Lake and Lagoon for those tulipy ones. Ooh, I went a bit hard straight in on that one. That's going to be okay. Okay, and I'm going to do lagoon at the base of those ones. Oh, Helena, I do love Summer Afternoon. It is a classic in ink color selections. Beautiful. Okay. That one I did leave a bit of a smudge. I'm sure we're going to be okay. Oops. Okay. So there we go. It's very, very pretty. I'm sorry about the glare. But there we go. I think it's pretty, but I think we can go a little bit further with this. So why not? Okay, so I've just grabbed one of my fine liners. So this is number 2. So the fine liners do come in a pack of 4, I believe. So you can definitely leave it as it is if you wanted to. But I'm just going to add a little bit of doodling. And my kind of tip for doodling is don't think about it too much, okay? The more that you think about it and the more you try to be precise about it, the harder it's going to be for you. And then I find it myself, it looks a bit weird. So just go for it, but do it quick. So don't, I mean, you can definitely sit there and go around that perfectly, but I'm not going to. I like the little arty look of things not touching everywhere properly. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where these petals are going to be. And I'm going to say that one there is a petal like that. That is a petal like that. And that one is like that. Again, not perfect. Get rid of these now. But then when you kind of put this next to another project made with the stencil that you've done, none of them are going to look the same because these kind of sketching lines are bringing a whole lot of newness to the project. I mean, you can't get any more like putting your heart and soul into it without kind of adding anything else, because these are your doodles. Even though that you've had a guideline there, the pictures that you are adding are, no one else is going to be able to create them like you do. Oops, I went really off on that. Oh, you could definitely add some little hummingbirds and things too. That would be cute. Okay, let's see if we can. This reminds me of like a fairy beanstalk now. Oh, thank you, Anne. So if you wanted to, we could maybe add in there's my really quick butterfly. And his name is Bob. And we can have a dragonfly over here. But even though you've done stamping with like other designs, don't be scared to grab out a little pen and do a little bit of doodling, because I do think that it is very cute to add on your own little touches as well. So definitely have a play with some doodling. If you don't feel that kind of happy about doing it, just do it for yourself. Just have a play, create different looks, and I think that you'll all have a really great time just doing a little bit of doodling. Even if you don't think that you're good at it, I'm sure that you can. But there we go. So there was one that I didn't plan, and that one was using the flower vines and just the simple colouring stencil for that one with a little bit of doodling. All right. Okay, now for my other one, I am going to go and grab my turn. If you watch, you know what I mean. It's the die cutting machine, but my kids call it a turn. So I'm just going to go and grab it. Okay, so I just got it over to the side, and I will be using the Sunshine Blossoms 3D embossing folder. So I will be inking onto embossing folders, and for that I would recommend using a pigment ink. We have some really beautiful pigment ink, and I find that works best for kind of inking onto the folder here. All right, okay, so I have all of my colors out, and we're going to emboss onto this folder and then emboss it. No, ink onto this and then emboss it. Okay, so this one is the Sunshine Blossoms, and I am going to be inking, sorry, embossing is in my head, inking onto the debossed side. So this is the side that goes in or that's concave. So I always remember concave and convex because like a cave goes in, so that's always concave, and then convex is like an eyeball, so it goes the other way around. So this is the side that you're going to want to ink on, and that is yes, it's my big turn, Avril. I've got the big turn out. So I couldn't think of the word. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm like stuttering, but everything's going to be fine. All right. Okay. I would also, when inking using this pigment ink on here, I always use a foam tool. I find that it gets into these details a little bit better and it's a bit more juicier. So I am going to start actually with colouring in the flowers. So I'm going to have a pink flower and I'm going to have a blue flower because I can. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to have coral berry for my flower, a base flower. I don't know. I'm going to go Caribbean Sky for the large one. Okay. I'm just going to grab a foam tool. Okay. You could use a like a cotton bud. That would work as well, you know, like one that you use for your toners. That would work as well. So I'm just going to ink this up, and I'm going to go in to this. And as you can see, I'm dabbing it. That is my favorite way of doing these. I'm going to try and not get it around the outside. I mean, I probably will. If I was doing this in my own time, I would spend a little bit extra time not to make sure that it didn't go out of these edges. Okay. I mean, you can rub your finger on it, that works too. Just dab that in. You can, you know, you can kind of move it around like this, but you will get these streaks. And I find that the kind of dabbing dispersal method is a little less, trying to think of the word, it doesn't show up as much, not as extrude, I don't know. As you can see, the place in my brain that thinks up words, it's not working today. Sorry, everyone. I am truly sorry. So I've done my blue, which was the Caribbean Sky. I'm also going to do coral berry. I'm going to leave coral berry for my second layer. I'm going to go in with a frosty pink. And as you can see, I am doing both of these at the same time. this ink does take a long while to dry, so don't worry too much. If you wanted to as well, you could also spritz this using a spritz bottle or the little fine mister. He would do a really great job on this as well. Just adding that in. I do want to add in a little bit of yellow. Add in some warm sunshine just in there. Squidge it in. Proper squidge. Okay, I'm going to need some green. Hello there, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me and popping in. It has been a while since I've been here, so if you have had any news, any good news that you want to share, and you know, I think it's been like 3 weeks since I last did a live. So if you do want to share some of your good news from like 3 weeks, I'm okay to backdate it. Please let me know. If you want a little bit of a birthday shout out too, you know, just let me know. You know, I'm a little bit nosy and I like to know things. So I am using the frayed leaf on the leaves there. Again, if you wanted to, you could definitely give that a spritz, but I'm happy with that in a minute. So, okay. Now, my machine doesn't have one of the pieces on for the sandwich because I find that works better for this. Always make sure that you found your perfect sandwich before kind of forcing it through, because we do not want you to break your machines ever, ever, ever. Oh, Rosie got a puppy. Oh, Joni had a vacay at the beach. I hope it was beautiful, Joni. I really do. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that into place. And as you can see, I'm just going to fold that down. And there we go. I'm going to run that through. Any more good news? Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. If you do share the live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Ultimate. Oh, oops. Oh, Joni, you were surfing? That sounds cool. Thank you, Ria. Yes, we do have some really beautiful ones. All right, so you can see that we've got that design on that and embossed. If you wanted to, we can kind of working on layers on this too. So we'll add one layer and then we'll add the stencil. All right, so I'm going to move that off to the side. Again, I'm working on the same piece that we've been working on. This time I'm going to take the forest glades and I'm going to add it in just at that base of the leaves. I don't want to cover all of it this time, just at the base. Persian blue. Just going to add that around the center a little bit more. Just to add that dark color. And then instead of kind of inking that up again, I'm just going to try and pull that color out a little bit so we get that gradient effect there. Oh, Linda had day trips. Oh, I haven't had a day trip for ages. I hope you had a beautiful time. Oh, Naomi, I'm surprised that people ventured out in the heat. We just popped up the paddling pool and that was about it. Didn't move. I am going to use the coral berry for the center of this one. And again, as before, I'm going to kind of pull that out. There we go. So I'm going to grab that same piece as before. Christine, that's awesome. I'm glad you found yourself another little job. That's cool. Okay, so I've popped it in. Now, to get it in the same place, you just kind of line up the edges. And then once it's got in the right place, even when you give it a wiggle, it's just like, nah, it's all right. I'm happy here. And you're going to know when it's in the right place. So we're going to kind of just keep my fingers on there. You could add a little bit of tape in there if you wanted to. And then pop that down. You can either give it a rub or you can run it through your machine again. I'm just going to go for the rubs, see what the rub does. I didn't add as much as I wanted to, so I will run it through. I think if you get like a rolling pin and maybe you wet your cardstock, you might be able to do it without one. I haven't tried it, but if you put a lot of pressure, you would have to put a lot of pressure down. Okie dokie. Right. I'm going to move out my big turn because it is huge. It's a monster, right? Okay. Move that over. Now we have like 2 layers of ink on this one. And I think that looks so, so pretty. And that is just with the embossing folder and adding, oh, a brayer. Thank you, Fraps and Straps. Yes, Helena, the pigment is water-based, so you can watercolor with this. I will show you a trick in a sec, though. Let's just get this one done. So like I said, I've got the old Courageous You stencil. There is an updated version. It has got the base layers for both of these flowers as well. I don't have that one. I have this one. So I'm just going to go in and I am going to add a layer to these flowers. How cool is that? I don't want to add too much of a layer though. I will use my little squeegee one. So Persian blue. I am scribbling around this one. Okay. Right. That's cool. So we've added a layer there, and then we also have this one to add in a layer 2. Making sure that I've got it correctly positioned. And I'm going to go in with Coral Berry this time. Oh, Elaine, that sounds fabulous. I really hope that you guys have a beautiful time when you do go to the castle. I bet you it's going to be amazing. Okay, so I've added in the second layer there, and that I think looks very, very pretty. Christine, another great tip for trying to emboss without an die cutting machine there as well. Okay, the blues are very, very pretty. Gorgeous. All right, before I leave you, I did want to show you this really amazing thing about these beautiful, beautiful inks. So this is the sapphire one. I just want to get a bit of scrap paper because I don't want to waste a whole piece of paper. It's just to show you something, but you know what? It looks like I am. Okay, so stamp. Give me a stamp. It doesn't matter what stamp it is, but I'm just going to grab one from the side. I have Linear Life, a Tropical Garden. All right. So that's what I'll be using today. My desk is my usual style now. It was perfect before I started. Everything was beautiful. Now everything is thrown around everywhere. Okay. So I just have one of the flowers. I should do this on watercolor paper, but I'm not. This is just normal. Just going to ink that up with the sapphire. Okay. So if I was to grab a little bit of water now, I just don't have my water pot available, so I'm just going to use my mini mister, add a little bit of water on there. Okay. And I was to grab a brush, and this was watercolor paper. I could, if I wanted to, watercolor with those pigment inks. And they are beautiful. They blend really, really well. You can see that they move very quickly. So, but you know, if you wanted to kind of watercolor and then have the outline, what am I going to do? Maybe if we do that again. So I have my sapphire. I'm going to ink that down. Beautiful. And then if I keep that, okay, so I've heat set that now. Exactly the same ink as before, remember? And I could move that ink around really, really easily. Once it's heat set, it doesn't move. I have got ink on my brush from before, but you can use the same ink for outlines. Okay, so this ink is fabulous. So if you wanted to watercolor with it, use it as colors to watercolor with, don't heat set. But if you want to use this as an outline, you can heat set that and then watercolor. So if you wanted to have images with a brown outline, you could definitely use the caramel toffee, or you could use all different ones to get different colored outlines. Normally, all of my watercolor images are outlined with obsidian ink or a white embossing powder, but you can, in fact, use the beautiful pigment inks from Ultimate 2 to do that as well. So, what have we done today? We have had a quick look at the mixed media or the pigment inks. We have done a little bit of 3D embossing, and we've also done some stenciling and doodling as well. So that is it all for today. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I really do hope that you've taken something from this, or I've inspired you at least a little. I really do hope that you have an amazing week, and I will see you very, very soon. See you soon. Thank you so much, Angel, for popping in all of the links, and thank you so much for being there. See you soon. Bye-bye.